Hi, my name is Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at a rare China private equity and venture capital investor database. So this video highlights a rare and unique database of institutional grade investor contacts. It comes from my master database of 400,000 contacts. It's never been offered before. And if you're looking to enter the China market to source venture capital or private equity capital, this is a fantastic database for you to start with. So altogether, it includes 1,000 fund managers and about 14,500 key investment contacts with emails. So why this database matters? Again, extremely rare and hard to access network of verified China private equity and venture capital contacts. You can't scrape the internet for these type of contacts. You just have to have the basic large library that I do. And again, this is the first time it's ever been offered. 14,000 plus key investment professionals across leading firms in China. Direct access to capital sources fueling private equity and venture growth, and strategic advantage for anyone entering or expanding into the China market. You're going to see the Excel spreadsheets coming up in just a bit. This is for institutional grade clients only. So let's get a look at the database now. Okay, so first we're going to start off by looking at the master database, and then I'm going to go over to the China selection. So we start off with master database I have has around 99,000 funds, and if we scroll back up to the very top, you can see that we have the name of the fund. Now these are also historical funds, so they do go back a few years, but it shows up recent years. You can see a lot of 2022, 23, 24 there. So those are perfect targets to look to raise capital on because they're still active. You can see we have asset class, strategy, primary region of interest. This is a global list, so this covers all the major funds, and it's got a fair bit of detail in the spreadsheet going all the way all over to the end here, including the fund names and so on. So this is the important thing, that this is the master database that I use to create all the smaller databases. And now let's take a look at the contacts that are in this. So if we go to the contacts of the master database, you see there in the left hand corner we have 412,000 contacts, and we go back up to the top, and then we have fund manager, firm type, name, title, asset class, email. There's around 270,000 emails, and we have of course the countries. So now that we can see where the master list starts and creates all the smaller lists, let's take a look at the China private equity and venture capital investors database. Okay, so now we're over on the China selection, and this is the fund sheet, and you can see here we've got 16,500 funds. So those are the individual funds that were launched in China for different investment opportunities. We've got the background, the vintage year, asset class strategies. This is very much the same as the master database, and you can see here we've got some of the information on the companies, where they're located, some of the strategy that they also use. So it's pretty detailed in many cases. This is the perfect list for private equity and real estate, and that's what I focus most of my searches for, and as far as clients as well, that tends to be what they're looking for. So now let's go to the contacts. So if I go to the contacts, you see on the bottom here we've got 14,500, and what I've done is I've done the filtering, and these list the fund manager, the firm type. Most of these are going to be private equity, venture capital. You can see here you've got the name and the title, asset class. So the asset class is going to basically show you what that particular firm is interested, or that particular contact handles, and then you can have their email, telephone, city, and so on. So you've got 14,500 emails, and again, if you're looking to raise capital in China, you have to think, how do I get to this particular spot where I am? Well, you can't get there by hiring somebody to scrape the internet. Just don't do that. They're going to pick up the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we usually go through those type of databases, and we find out that they're really old, unclassified. Good thing about this database is it's been recently updated, and for the most part these are groups that have been active in the past few years in raising capital, so you're not looking at a group that hasn't been doing anything for 10 years. At the end of the day, these are very rare databases. You can't usually get a database like this without subscribing to some very expensive database company who wants you to buy their entire package. It's kind of like going into a grocery store and saying, hey, I need to buy an apple for a recipe tonight, and the only thing you can do is buy a fruit basket with the apple in it. So this is a great way for you to pick up a large selection of investment professionals in private equity and venture capital in the China market. For more information on my databases and fundraising services, click my Fiverr link below. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.